President, when did you first learn that Hillary Clinton used an email system outside the U.S. government for official business while she was Secretary of State?
At the same time, everybody else learned it through news reports.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you were watching, the first Gimme Five was about this and the history that Obama has in claiming that, whatever the issue might be. Noah Rothman, associate editor of hotair.com, joins us. Hello, Noah.
How you doing?
The IRS, the flyover of Air Force One over the Statue of Liberty, Fast and Furious, the Justice Department taking the AP records. He gave the same answer each time.
Yeah, it's really a measure of the extent to which any particular controversy can negatively impact this White House, that this president, whom we are told is omnicompetent in issues that have nothing to do with scandals, suddenly becomes a babe in the woods who is protected by his insular staffers and has just no idea of what's going on around him. He is just too isolated from the daily events at the White House to know what's going on whenever there's a particular scandal. It's really become quite conspicuous at this point.
I mean, my goodness, if this was George W. Bush, time after time, major scandal after major event, saying, I found out about it on the news like everybody else. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they would say that this is a dereliction of duty, a failure of an executive authority to abide by his responsibilities as commander-in-chief. But beyond that, it's completely ridiculous. It's hard to believe. And today we find out that it's really patently untrue. And so after having basically lied, or at least created a really glaring sin of omission, we don't really see a whole lot of outrage on the part of the press.
No, you're absolutely right. We do see some outrage on the part of the press with regards to Hillary. New York Times, Washington Post, the Times broke the story, as a matter of fact, and you know, Dianne Feinstein. But let's stick to the media. They're piling on. I mean, Chuck Todd, Andrea Mitchell. It seems like everybody except Nicole Wallace, oddly enough, is really piling on to a certain extent about these emails. Yeah,
as well they should, actually. It's pretty refreshing.
Oh, yeah, I'm shocked, yeah.
The Associated Press just changed this headline, and I thought it was, they shouldn't have, because I thought it was really a glaring indication of the extent to which they're so disappointed in Hillary Clinton. The headline read that the participants in one of her many panels at which she has just offered fawning question after fawning question about breaking glass ceilings and just unbearable lightness. The headline read that Hillary Clinton, and I'm paraphrasing, that Hillary Clinton's participants in that panel read their questions off of teleprompters. They were fed those questions. That even merited a headline, much less a mention in an AP report, is a tectonic shift in how the press is covering Hillary Clinton.
Wow. That is huge. I think that is huge. I mean, you talk about stage. You can't get more stage than that unless they had rehearsals beforehand. And great piece you wrote. Yeah, go ahead.
That's just not new. That's something that has been a feature of Hillary Clinton's fawning panels towards women for quite some time, where she's just offering questions about working together and breaking glass ceilings, really anodyne pat. So this is that the press is just suddenly noticing this and actually reporting on it as a major feature, and actually disqualifying her responses as a result, is, I believe, a significant shift in how they're covering the Clinton candidacy.
You write an interesting piece, very informative, about Marco Rubio and Senator Paul, and the different the situations they're in if they decide to run for president, how Paul has to get some things changed in order to run for president and Senate at the same time. He could lose a Senate seat, and how Rubio might have trouble keeping his Senate seat for another reason, not because he's prohibited from running, but he may not win. Why don't you talk about the dynamics of those two different individuals?
Yeah, Rand Paul has been really trying very hard to make it possible legally for him to run for president. His plan A was to approach the Kentucky General Assembly and get them to change the law. The law prevents him from running, currently, the law prevents him from running from both the White House and for a second term in the U.S. Senate. The Kentucky House of Representatives is dominated by Democrats. So last year, the GOP in the Senate did pass a law changing the state primary to a caucus, which would allow Paul to run on both for both offices. But the Democrats blocked that. So Plan B is to approach the state GOP and get them to adopt a caucus plan. And that actually moved forward over the weekend. It looks like Paul's Plan B will go into effect, and he will be able to run for both offices simultaneously. Marco Rubio has declined, and declined early on, definitively, to run for both offices at the same time. He says that either you're running for the presidency or you're running for the White House, or for your Senate seat. You really can't do both effectively, and your heart's not in either of them if you're doing both. Right. But there's a bit of a difference in the fact that Rand Paul is probably not going to face a very stiff competition, whereas Florida is a different game entirely, particularly in a presidential year, which is what 2016 is going to be. So if Rubio has...
As you pointed out in the piece.
Right.
It could be tough for him. It could be tough. Noah, great piece. Everyone check him out at hotair.com. You'll see Noah's pieces and everybody else's great pieces there. Great job, Noah. Thank you very much. Up next, folks, the president of OPSEC, Scott Taylor.